Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Random Fandom. I'm your host, RavenWood, and here's your co-host. This thing, the rip off of the slime from Minecraft character. His name is, well, I would naturally call, if he was the slime, I would call him slime, but he's not a slime, or he's not the slime from Minecraft. So I'm gonna call him the uh, lime. It's like lime, but with M. Malign. 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 That's how you pronounce it. Malign. There. Okay, so I wanted to start this live stream 20 minutes ago. Roughly, actually, to be honest, an entire 20 minutes and an hour ago. But I could not because there was a lot of problems. There was a lot of issues. And also, at roughly around between 10 and 10:30, I was watching Monk, or I was watching Monk with my brother. Well, actually, roughly around 9:50 or whatever, we were finishing up Monk. All right, and so we decided we'll just finish this episode. Anyways, it's a really great episode. The episode took us longer than we anticipated. Doesn't matter. I'm here now, and this is going to be a late evening stream. I know, but and probably nobody's going to watch this. But regardless, this is going to be recorded live, and so I'll be reading Will of the Mill by Robert Louis Stevenson. And so I'm only going to take about 30 minutes. 30 minutes to read this. So I know I'm starting off with just 30 minutes of reading. Probably more if I want to. Hold on, let me have this out of the way so I can at least keep the time. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Will the Mill within 30 minutes, and then next stream, hopefully next stream, I'll read a bit longer. Now, I am considering whether or not I should probably read Monday, during the Monday day, the day of Monday, right? During the day on Monday, but it depends. I do have energy to do it. And that emergency stream, I was prepared for it and everything. Yeah, let's go, and yeah, right, and all that other stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I could do it. I have the energy to do it, to do the emergency stream. So I was like, what if I do more of the emergency streams, or not emergency streams, but more of the Monday evening stream? It's convenient. It wouldn't be during the morning, obviously. Well, I mean, I could try, but no promises. What I could definitely probably just throw it out there to see if it works. So yeah, I can't promise every Monday, but hey, whatever works. I will read and I will be there. Speaking of which, let's begin. Will o' the Mill, the Plain and the Stars. Do you like stars? Malime says yes. The mill where Will lived, with his adopted parents, stood in a falling valley between pine woods and great mountains. Above all, hill after hill soared upwards until they soared out of the depth of the hardiest timber, and stood naked against the sky. Some way up a long grey village lay like a seam or a rag of vapour on a wooded hillside. And when the wind was favourable, the sound of the church bells would drop down, thin and slivery, to will. Below, the valley grew ever steeper and steeper, and at the same time widened out on either hand. And from an immense bedside, the mill, it was possible to see its whole length, and away beyond it over a wide plain, where the river turned and shone, and moved on from city to city on its voyage towards the sea. It chanced that over this valley there lay a pass into a neighboring kingdom, so that quite in rural it was. The road that ran along beside the river was a high thoroughfare between two splendid and powerful societies. And that was where last stream we left off. And for this stream, we'll pick up here. All through the summer, traveling carriages came crawling up or went plunging briskly downwards past the mill. And as it happened that the other side was very much easier of the path was not much frequented. The path was not much frequented, except by people going in one direction, and all of the carriages that Will saw go by, 5, 6, were plunging briskly downwards, and only 1, 6 crawling up. Much more was this the case with foot passengers. All the light-footed tourists, all the peddlers, laden with strange wares, were tended downward like the river that accompanied their path. Nor was this all, for when Will was yet a child, a disastrous war arose over a great part of the world. The newspapers were full of defeats, victories. The earth rang with cavalry hoofs, and often for days together and for miles around the coiled battle terrified good people from their labors in the field. Of all of this, nothing was heard for a long time in the valley. But at last, one of the commanders pushed an army over the pass by forced marches. Okay. For 3 days, horse and foot, cannon and tumbril, drum and standard, kept pouring downward past the mill. All day the child stood and watched them on the passage. The rhythmical stride, the pale, unshaven faces, tanned about the eyes, the discolored regimentals, the discolored regimentals, and the tattered flags filled him with the sense of weariness, pity, and wonder. And all night long, after he was in bed, he could hear the cannon pounding and his feet trampling, and the great armament sweeping onward and downward past the mill. No one in the valley ever heard the fate of the expedition, for they lay out of the way of gossip in those troublous times. But Will saw one thing plainly, that not a man returned. Whither had they all gone? Whither went all the tourists and peddlers with strange wares? Whither all the brisk barouches? Let me Google that. Allow me to Google that. Barouches. Barouche. A four-wheeled horse-drawn carriage and collapsible hood over the rear half. A seat in front of. Oh, okay. Seats in front of the driver and seats facing each other for the passengers, especially used in the 19th century. Huh. So that's what they're called. I thought we just called them fancy carriages. Where's a fancy carriage? Okay. Barouche. Very French sounding. Barouche. Barouche. Sounds French. Or French adjacent or whatever. Barouche. Sounds French. Sorry. With all the brisk brooches with servants in the dicky. The dicky. Oh, well, we're learning. We're not going to make fun of brooches. Dicky. In the dicky. A white informal. Okay, here we go. Dated, informal, historical. Oh, let's go with the historical one. The driver sitting in the carriage. Okay, it's a dicky. But it's a folding seat in the back of the vehicle, a rumble seat. The Plymouth. Oh, okay. Or do you want to get in the dicky?